Yeah, mine's one that I'm not gonna go over the moon for this team, but it's a pleasant surprise. Okay, so give them a little bit of credit. Not that they probably consume Western media in the slightest, but I just think that the run that TYLOO had through the first stage as ESO Pro League's been playing out was really impressive. Mostly because the teams they beat were fairly legit. Like even though they came in through the ESL Challenger League, the Asia component of that, over a couple other Asian teams like Linvision, Atox, what have you. I mean, they were able to get 3 victories in BO3s on land versus teams that I'm not going to say are world beaters. Some of them are inconsistent, but very different styles in teams too. That's what's impressive to me. Like 3D Max, I've labeled before as being this highly tactical team, really kind of intricate strategies, very usually well executed, not always the highest quality in personnel. But then they kind of beat a team completely opposite of that and 2-0 them as well in Eternal Fire. And Eternal Fire, a less tactical team, more about just hitting the same bomb site 4 out of 5 gun rounds and hoping that Xantares gets a double entry on one of those. And then they beat FlyQuest in a really close game when the pressure was actually on. So I'm just going to say TYLOO, a lot of bright spots too. I'd say that Jam Young has definitely stolen my attention as an individual. I'm not going to say he's the most cerebral player yet. I haven't really seen that, but aim to aim against 3D Max, he dominated them. Like nobody could shoot him back in a fair 50-50 gun duel, which was presented frequently. And then against even Xantares and the Eternal Fire guys, man, he was clocking them. So it was really sick to see. I guess like other players on the team right now, Mozia is looking like the more stable rifler. Like I think Jam Young's probably got the higher peaks, but Mozia just seems like the guy game to game. I'm a little bit more certain of what I'm getting from him. And then for G, I don't know. I've seen halves where he gets 1 kill and then halves where he gets 15. So he seems extremely streaky. And like I'll say about anyone that's an opera entering tier 1, it's just that the first couple games you play against everybody, they're just not used to what you do. So I feel like he's kind of boosted by that. Even though he's been around for a while, none of these people have played him. So I feel like that's why he's kind of a half to half guy, or you don't really know what you're getting map to map, because his style might just be found out for a half and he gets 1 kill, or he just runs with a slightly off kilter, slightly more aggressive style than they're used to, and has different fallbacks and rotations than people expect, and then he farms. So I'm overall, I guess just the way I would put it is that it's great that we're also even getting a Swiss BO3 here, because if this was just a couple BO1s in the beginning, like they won their first 2 games, but if it was just a single map, I'd
Oh,
be less
sure.
excited. But beating 3D Max and Eternal Fire in BO3s and then taking down FlyQuest to actually qualify for the next stage, I don't expect them to do anything else here. But this could actually improve their VRS ranking quite a bit, and in
Yeah.
turn move them up in the Asia rankings. And I'd say at this point, just by doing this, they're guaranteed to make it to the Asia MRQ bare minimum, which is great, because this team has just been kind of, I always felt like they were the Chinese premier org, but then the results lately were not showing that. So yeah, all in all, I think it's exciting. It's an exciting time for Chinese CS because they've shown something.
They built what was effectively like the Chinese super team with Starry, and that was what everybody anticipated to be the team that was going to be able to take over their country and put something up in international play. And sadly, they never really looked to be like that team even slightly. I mean, these kinds of results are results in terms of like solid, bona fide LAN results that they haven't seen as an organization for a long time to be able to say that they have something going for them. Starry versus Attacker, like pound for pound, man, it's really not even close when they're both hitting their highest ceilings right now. Attacker's been there before, but like no offense at all, he just isn't at that same point. He's not that same player. And frankly, I think if they're looking forward towards the future and they're saying, guys, look what we're capable of, look what we're doing, it's how much stock they can put in this as a long-term team with longevity as 5. And that like stinks to say, you know what I mean? But we've seen it before where teams hit their highs and they absolutely peak, and then they say, okay, let's make the change we were going to make anyway. Is Attacker their long-term plan? Is he somebody that they were going with in the short term, knowing they could pull him on a leash very quickly? I don't really know. I don't really have a feeling one way or another whether or not he stays, because I think he's just fine. But I think if you look at this last game that they played against Spirit, an outlier as an individual is very clearly Attacker, and that's unfortunate that Starry didn't pan out, but I don't know where you look other than this spot right now. So
By the way, I'm with you. Like, the other thing as well is, look, obviously this one tournament might end up being an outlier, but actually their results are mad, Maui. Like, the thing people will miss as well, they almost beat Gamer Legion as well, who actually is good.
Yeah.
And if you look at these teams, like 3D Max, Gamer Legion, fucking Eternal Fight, like, these aren't bad teams. These are the teams actually getting results on lands, guys. Like, these are the teams that can, like, beat the top teams. So I think that's wild that you have those results. And then also, when you look at the players, like, look, everyone's doing that thing where just because he did the interviews and they think he's a good memer, they like the G guy, etc. I don't even know if that guy's actually going to turn out to be a top player. The Jam Young guy actually is fucking the shit. That guy actually looks like he's really good. Like, that player
He was going to try out for their Valorant team even. That's so funny to me.
Makes sense. No, and also the other thing is as well, this is why it's kind of sad it was only Mongols for the last few years. And every time like Lin Vision qualified, it was like a meme and no one even thought they were any good, because China should always, at a minimum, have like some good aimers. Like, they definitely have loads of FPS talent over there. It's just that in Northern CS2, we never had the old TYLOO squads. We never had like a coherent set of people who'd been on a bunch of lands. So, no, I thought it was quite a cool, and there's no downside to it, man. Just look at the results. You have to celebrate them. Yeah, I'm with you. It's a good one.
See more cool, funny, interesting clips based on topics from my content? Well, subscribe to this channel then, or, you know, be a pleb and don't.